Hello students, today we will be starting a new phyla in case of the animal kingdom. In the last class we had come to know about the various kinds of characteristic features depending upon which the kingdom Animalia is being classified into various phyla. Today we are going to take the first simplified phyla or the phylum of kingdom Animalia, that is called as your Porifera. Now Porifera are the organisms which are primitive organisms. A group of primitive organisms belong to this phylum called the Porifera. Now the name Porifera, why it is given to the organisms belonging to this phylum, is because of the presence of pores throughout their body. Okay, they have pores throughout their body, they have porines actually, and they have a common opening, and this common opening is called as your osculum, and it leads to a cavity inside which is called as your spongiocele. Okay, and through these ostia or the pores which they have on their body, the water enters into the spongiocele, and when it enters, then there is exchange of the food substances. That means the food enters through it, the gaseous exchange takes place through, excretory products also are released out into the surroundings. So it plays a very important role in the organisms, you can say the life pattern, that these ostia helps them to obtain the nutrition. These are mainly fixed. Okay, these organisms are mainly fixed. They are showing cellular level of organization. There is just aggregate of cells. They do not show tissue level of organization. They are all marine organisms. They are stick to the bottom of the ocean. They have some hold fast like thing with which they are stick to the bottom, and they are having a skeleton which is made up of a substance which is called spicules or spongin, and they have the spongiocele which I was telling you, that is the inner cavity of this organism, is lined by choanocyte cells, and these organisms can reproduce both asexually as well as by means of sexual mode of reproduction. The asexual mode of reproduction includes the process which is called fragmentation. These organisms are asymmetric, so if they are subjected to any kind of water currents, accidental water currents, it breaks up into fragments, then the fragment is capable of producing a new organism. Okay, the fertilization, if it is a sexual reproduction, the fertilization is internal, and the digestion, as I told you that they have a common opening which is called osculum. So through that is acting as a mouth also and the anus also. So substance can enter through the ostia, it can get digested, intracellular digestion of course, and then it is released into the surroundings. So that is about the organisms. Some of the common organisms. Oh, one more thing I forgot to tell you is that the same organism is capable of producing the both type of gametes. That means it is a hermaphrodite organism. Okay, and some common examples of the organisms belonging to this phylum, that is your Porifera, is that of your Cycon or Spongilla. So this is all about the characteristic features of the phylum called as your Porifera. See, from this phylum, the important question which can be coming is that name the cells which line the spongiocele. Okay, some characteristic features of this phylum which is called as your Porifera. Then that is, what do you mean by the thing which is called as your spongiocele, or what is osculum? Okay, and that's it. So these are the various kinds of questions which can be coming in your examination related to this type of phylum, which is the primitive type of phyla containing the primitive group of organisms. The next phylum to follow after this Porifera is Cnidaria or Coelenterata. Now there is also the reason why these organisms belonging to Cnidaria or Coelenterata are named so. The reason is because these organisms which belong to Cnidaria, they have cnidoblast cells. Now what are these cnidoblast cells? Cnidoblast cells are the stinging cells. Okay, now since these are marine, they are living in the sea water, so there are some predator organisms. So when these predator organisms comes to feed upon them, so in that case the cnidoblast cells which are present in their body, these which are called the stinging cells, they can paralyze their that is your predator organisms, and as a result they can immediately release these organisms, because they will be having a paralytic attack on them if they want to feed upon these organisms. Now these organisms show tissue level organization little bit higher compared to that of the previous one, which was your porifera. And also these organisms are diploblastic, that means they have two germinal layers, okay, unlike the organisms which were found in case of your porifera. And also these organisms are not asymmetrical, these organisms are radially symmetrical. Okay, so these are the advanced characters which we can notice in the organisms belonging to that of your Cnidaria or Coelenterata. Now the next question is that why these organisms which are belonging to this phylum Coelenterata are they are named as coelenterons. The reason is because they have a coelenteron, a cavity inside their body, and that is called as your coelenteron. So cylindrical body, and they have also a common mouth which is called as your hypostome, and it is surrounded by that of tentacles. Okay, so and the organisms are of two types, that means the organisms are some of them are sessile and some of them show movement. Okay, so the sessile form of the certain organisms belonging to this phylum, which is called as your Cnidaria, this includes your Hydra. Hydra is a common example. We all know, we have studied about Hydra's budding in our junior classes. So Hydra, the one which is stationary, that is called the polyp stage, and the one which is moving stage, that is called as your Medusa stage. And there are certain organisms which can show both polyp and medusa in their lifespan, and this type of thing is known as your alternation of generation. So all the three types of characteristics are shown. Some are sessile, some are moving, as we see in case of your the moving organism called as your Aurelia. Okay, Aurelia is the free swimming organism belonging to that of your phylum Cnidaria. So the other organism which shows both, that is the stationary phase, which is the asexual phase, which is called the polyp, and the sexual phase, which is called as your medusa, and the example is called as your Obelia. So these are the various kinds of characteristic features of the organisms belonging to that of your phylum, which is called as your Cnidaria or Coelenterata. The next phylum to follow in case of animal kingdom is known as your Ctenophora. Now these organisms are very interesting in the sense that the organism's body is biradially symmetrical. Okay, they are not radially symmetrical, they are a little bit advanced than that of the organisms which we have just now discussed. They have two tentacles and they have comb plates. They have 8 comb plates in their body. So that is also the interesting characteristic features of the organisms belonging to Ctenophora. The organisms belonging to Ctenophora, they show a property which is called as your bioluminescence. That means these organisms at night glow under the water. So organisms belonging to the Ctenophora shows digestion, which is both intracellular and extracellular. As far as the gametes are concerned, the single organism is capable of producing both the gametes. That means the sexes are not separate. Okay, and the development is indirect. That means they have the larval stage and they have that is your adult stage, separate adult stage, and the larval stage does not resemble like that of the adult stage. Example is Ctenoplana. See students, you will be finding various examples relating to various kinds of phylum. Although it is required to read all of them, but in case if you forget, at least the name of the organism which is similar to that of the phyla, or depending upon which the phylum's characteristics are assigned to, you should know the name of that particular organism. Like for example, see here we are reading about the organism Ctenoplana, and the Ctenoplana belongs to Ctenophora. So this way you can correlate the organism with that of the phylum. The organisms are mostly they are marine, and they are diploblastic, and these organisms also show tissue level organization. So this is all about your organisms belonging to that of the phylum called Ctenophora. So in today's class we have read the 3 phyla belonging to the animal kingdom, that is your Porifera, then your Coelenterata or Cnidaria, and the last one is called as your Ctenophora. I hope you understood the characteristic feature of these organisms. Next day we will take upon the next phyla to continue in the animal kingdom, that is from the Platyhelminthes. That's all for today's class.